Ladies, let's talk. Let's talk about the red flags. I know we all want to be loved. We all want somebody to look after us. We want like forever and ever romance that never gonna end. And we just want to believe everything that the men tell us, and that's just not right. So today I want to talk about the red flags and how to spot them, how to avoid them, and how not to really go deeper and deeper into the relationship that is just not good for you. Please, please, please stay with me. Let's begin. Recently, I was watching Oprah show, and the guest was a lady called Caroline Darian. She survived unthinkable. What she has survived was so shocking that I've never heard that story before. Apparently, it was very, very big on news in France. But when I was listening the whole interview, like the whole story, I just could not believe that something like this even happened. What happened was they were a couple for many, many years, and he drugged her as her husband. He drugged her and he allowed all the men to rape her, and he was watching it, filming it, taking picture. So finally, after so many years, police found out not about this particular thing. It was about something completely else. They called the woman, she's going to the police station, and they showed her all the photos when she's unconscious and being raped by all those men. And it's just, I don't think anybody have words for what happened. There was also a second lady, her name was Jenny Thiessen, who thought that she also had a loving husband, only to find out that he was drugging her for years. So these stories didn't really start with the abuse. They started with trust, with charm. They all thought that they have amazing men and amazing partners that they can count on. But what the second lady said, she said, I've seen red flags. I've seen them, Oprah. I just ignored them for so many years. And what happened was, when she finally realized what he was doing, the second lady, she found the pictures on his phone, her husband's phone. And then she opened her eyes and she said, that's all what I needed, but I've seen the red flags. I just wasn't ready to leave. I needed this to happen for me to leave. And I'm thinking like, wow. How many of us, and let's be honest, how many of us ignored so many red flags? We thought we were going to deal with it later. We thought we were going to change him. We thought we will be amazing woman and he will just change for us. You never go into a relationship believing that you will change someone. But I'm not going to talk about such a abuse, like what happened here. This is just sick. I think this is sick, and those men should die in jail. I'm sorry I said that. But today I'm going to talk about normal flags, normal red flags that you can spot that will allow you to get out of the relationship before it's too late. So flag number one is when he moves too fast. You know the stories when you just met the guy and he's so in love with you and he's like, I love you after the third or second date and I want you to be my girlfriend. I've had that. I used to date quite a few different men at the same time. It happened 2 times when on second or the third meeting, he literally said, could you be my girlfriend? I love you. I'm so in love with you. I cannot stress enough that you are like the perfect girl. And that was a huge red flag to me. I just wasn't ready, After the third or second time I've just seen that man. They both said, both of those gentlemen, they said, I love you. You're so perfect. Could you be my girlfriend? And I said, thank you so much. You're flattering me. I felt good about it, but I said, I'm sorry, I can't. Like, I know what I'm looking for. I need more time. Most of the times I just never seen them again because I just knew they're not for me. Be careful because a lot of the times it's manipulation. He tries to lock you down. He tries to have a girlfriend for free, and we don't do that. We are not going to be a girlfriend for nothing. Okay, I don't even want you to feel like you need to be anyone's girlfriend, because girlfriend, it doesn't exist. Okay, what the girlfriend even is, it's like, okay, we are together, we are testing each other, and until God knows when, I need to be taken off the market, so I'm not going to meet anybody else. I'm not going to meet the love of my life because now I'm your girlfriend. You have all the expectations of me. The men barely do anything in that stage anyway. And then you ended up with broken heart. You ended up with begging for the ring. You ended up with begging for attention. Most of the girls that I know, most of the women, they want to get married. They want to have the beautiful wedding. They want to have husbands because that gives them protection. And a lot of the decent men that I know, they want to get married too. It's not just women who are pushing for it. Men want it too. Decent men understand. So if he's straight away saying, I want you to be my girlfriend, you are like, no, sorry, sir, I can't do that for you. And I'm not going to do it for anybody else because I know what I want. I'm looking for marriage. I'm looking for a ring. I'm looking for my forever love, and you're just not the one. Another flag is when he's too generous, but they are string attached. Have you seen that? Have you ever spotted that in anybody? So he gives you something, but he is expecting something else in return. Maybe he takes you for amazing holidays, yet he expects you to be the way he wants you to be. He expects you to dress in certain way. He expects you to move in certain way. He expects you to talk certain ways. And I'm like, no, this is not for me. I don't want to feel obligated. I don't want to feel like somebody's giving me something in order to get something else and have his puppet, because I'm no one else's puppet, okay? I'm my own queen. I'm my own girl. And I don't want anybody to tell me what I need to do, how I need to talk, how I need to dress. I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna do me. When he's always a perfect guy, and maybe you're gonna be like, what? We're all looking perfect people. No, we are not looking for perfection. We are looking for a real human being who will have flaws. He will have flaws. He will not be the perfect one. And if you do the dating right, you will notice what's not right with him from the beginning. Like when I was dating my husband, I know exactly what I'm looking for. I don't want to say I wasn't feeling love, because love is great and love comes with time. But a lot of the time, before the actual love comes, before the actual commitment comes, you feel those butterflies all the time, and you just like, you feel like he's Mr. Perfect. And although I was feeling a lot of good things, you know, with the time when we start seeing each other day after day, week after week, but from the beginning, I was watching. I wasn't even sharing a lot of things about me. He didn't know where I live. He didn't have my number. He didn't know where I work. I was watching him. I was analyzing him. I was listening, okay? I wasn't just blabbing and talking. I was listening what he wants to tell me. And I've seen the things that wasn't perfect in him. He was never Mr. Perfect. He was Mr. Perfect for me, but I had the knowledge. I had the knowledge at the back of my mind that this is what I need to deal with for the rest of my life. And I was hoping that he sees me exactly the same. I didn't want him to be like, oh, she's perfect, because perfect doesn't exist. And every single couple will tell you this. When the moment comes, you start living together, you start, you know, the butterflies fly away. There is a romance that's dropping straight away after a certain time, and you started to see things that you didn't see before. So I really prefer this to happen from the beginning rather than pretending somebody else that I'm not. He would be pretending somebody else. He never did. Like, he was very sweet and very very thoughtful, but he's always like this. Maybe he was just a bit too sweet. He was trying, and I could see that, and I knew this is not who he is, you know. I just knew it. And few more things on back of my mind, I knew it's not him. I stepped into dating with open mind and knowing what's right and knowing what's not right, and I spotted a lot of red flags in people very soon. Another red flag is when he talks bad about his previous relationships. So many men, they feel like they want to hook you because they will say, oh, she was this, she was that, she was whatever, and you will be like, oh, you know, yeah, she was a bad woman, I will be the perfect one now. Never step into that sort of situation. Every time when I heard that the man talks bad about his previous partner, even wife, because I started dating someone who got divorced a few years before. It was just a few dates, but he did mention quite a few bad things about the previous wife, and I thought, wow, okay, like, wow, I don't want that. What's the guarantee that you have that he will not talk bad about you later on? I feel like when men talks bad about the previous partners, it only shows their behavior, it only shows their characters, not the previous partner. Because remember that you need both sides to understand the story. So when one person tells me a story, I never, like, I listen. Maybe I have respect for their feelings, but I never say, this is what it is. If you would take that woman and put her next to him and ask her same questions that you ask him, you will know the story is completely different. Maybe he will say, oh, she was mental, oh, she was crazy, oh, she was like chasing after me, I just couldn't bear it anymore, she was keep checking my phone. But then if you would ask her, maybe he gave her so many reasons to do that, that she just lost her mind and she was doing the things that she should never do. Maybe he was the wrong villain in that situation, but you only hear his story. So never trust what he's saying. And when he says anything bad, move on to the next one. One time I was seeing a guy and he was perfect, like he was amazing, he was very handsome, he had a good job, good character, okay? He loved sport, he just like, you know, we just clicked. We clicked on so many levels, the way he talked and the way I could just, you know, be myself. It was awesome. But on the third date, I think it was on the third date, he started talking so many bad things about his previous partner. He said that she was a psycho and that he was in that relationship knowing that she was a psycho for so many years and that she destroyed his life. It was so many bad things. I don't want to repeat that on the camera. And that was the last time when I saw him. I didn't want to see him ever again. That time, I would usually don't bothered. I would not respond to this sort of things. I would be like just nodding and knowing what I know. But that time, it was just too much. And I said to him, you know what? I respect your feelings. I respect what you're saying. But I feel like it shows that you have a bad character. It tells me a lot about you, not about her. And at the moment, right now, I'm seeing you, I'm dating you. I don't see her. So why there is a third person in the conversation that she is a woman as well? And I feel like I don't feel good about that whole conversation. And he was like, oh, you know what, I'm sorry, I understand. He did message me later on. He said, I really understand what you said and I'm sorry for that. But that was too late. You already showed your character to me. You already said so many bad things. I was like, I just can't do this. I can't take that and I don't tolerate this. Don't allow men to talk bad about anybody else in your present. Watch, is he talking bad to his mom? Is he talking bad to his sister? Is he being mean to stranger people? See the man character. Don't see his words. Don't see his, not even actions sometimes. Look at his character and his patterns in behavior. When he plays a victim, when always there's somebody else's fault, okay? Oh, this is my mom's fault, this is my sister's fault, this is my ex-girlfriend's fault, he destroyed me, this is my employee's fault. When he never takes responsibility, run. Because you don't want to be with somebody who never takes responsibility, because in that way he never learns. When he puts you down, and this is a big one, a man that you are with supposed to bring you up. A man that you are with supposed to build you up. He should never put you down. He should never say things, and sometimes it's so small that you might not realize it. It's very hard to spot it sometimes. Trust me, I know men like this. They're gonna be quite cute, quite sweet. They usually very self-confident, but they will put you down in so many small ways that you're gonna start feeling small, you're gonna start feeling insignificant, you're gonna start believe that everything is your fault. I just can't allow this to happen. I don't want this to happen to you, because apart from the fact that he will have so much control over you, you're gonna feel like everything that happens is your fault, like literally everything. The problem with that is, at the end of the day, you're gonna lose so much self-respect because that's his doing. And it's gonna take you years to build yourself up again. So when you see things like this, red flags, from men, from the men you date, and even from your husband, if that's the man you date, just leave, move, you know, like bye-bye, see you later, block, delete, don't even say anything. Because when you're gonna try to talk about it and explain it, he will have his ways to convince you that it's still your problem and that is still your fault. That's why sometimes you just need to leave and don't explain. If you know that he has so much control over you, leave immediately. Don't even think about it. Because every time when you're going to talk about it, he's going to convince you to his ways of doing, and you're going to stay, and you're going to believe, and you're going to trust, and you're going to lose self-respect, and you're not going to like yourself. Don't do this. Never allow him to compare you to other women. This is a pattern and always happens. And he always say, my ex-girlfriend was this, you know. Oh, I love you to be blonde. My ex-girlfriend was blonde. And then you, rather than saying, go to your girlfriend then, you will go to hairdresser and be blonde next day. That will show him that you don't have self-respect. He will not respect you for that, believe me. He will lose respect straight away, and that's not going to help you either. When he pretends that he supports you, but as soon as you grow, as soon as you shine, as soon as you got the promotion, as soon as you get something that he's not feeling confident with, he will try to bring you down. He will try to say that this is not for you, that you're not good enough, that those people hate you, why you even want to go there. He's going to be your biggest cheerleader until you outshine him. A true love, a true man, a true woman as well, she will not feel, or he will not feel threatened by somebody else's light. You need to remember that. I've seen that so many times as well, when women would achieve so much, yet the lazy bum husbands or boyfriends didn't allow them to do it because he just feel like this is not for us, this is not whatever. Never beg for love. If there is a moment when you need to beg for love, when you need to beg for attention, this is not the right place to be. And as much as I understand that he can't always chase you, he can't always be that, you know, every single moment, every single day, he can't be on top of you. You do need to expect that in the long relationship, the attention sometimes will go down, the flirt will go down, the romance will go down, and that happens. Sometimes we need to focus on the kids, on the money, on the jobs. We are tired. We are just human beings, and we need to remember that, okay? So it's not like he's going to chase you every single day, 24/7, and buy you flowers all the time. Sometimes you need to allow him to have his moment and breathe and go and do something by yourself, and he's going to do something for himself. But he should always come back to you. At some point, you always have to meet in between, and he needs to be your forever love and for your forever husband. And if you feel that there's something like a crack there, and listen to your intuition. Sometimes it's just the intuition that tells you that it's not right. You can't put words on it. You can't really explain it. Your intuition knows you. If you ever had that moment when you're like, maybe he's just not for me, there is something that tells you he's not the right man, trust it. Trust your intuition. I know it's hard. I know it's hard to leave, and everybody say just leave him or just do this. You know best what to do, okay? There are some red flags that I would never tolerate, like abuse, alcohol, drugs, disrespectful to his family when he would be shouting or screaming or giving names. And what's the other one? When people play cards and they spend so much money in casino and stuff. Those are the 5 things that I would never tolerate. Or if a man would tell me that he wants me to be one of 10 different women that he has, even if he is millionaire, sorry, not for me, thank you so much, we'll move on. Those are the things I would never tolerate. Those are the biggest flags, but they are the smaller flags that you need to pay attention to. And in order to see those flags, you need to shut up, listen to what he wants to say, and analyze. You need to ask the right questions. Never be afraid to ask. I feel a lot of women, and that's the biggest problem, we don't want to know. We know something is not right, but we don't want to know. Sometimes we feel, I had a friend, she never asked the question for years. She knows that he was cheating on her. And, when things happened, she gave up. She lost her self-confidence during that time. And I don't blame her, because she just thought, I'm not good enough. That's why he needs to go elsewhere. Yet, this is not her fault at all. What was her fault is that she didn't stood up to the situation. She didn't say, okay, now is the time to talk about it. Now is the time to even dig more. Now is the time to check his bloody phone. You have all the rights to do it. When you know something is not right and you don't ask, that's on you. That's on you, sister. Another one is when he pushes you to do something that you don't want to do. When he is keep crossing your boundaries and laughing when you say no, It can be very small, it can be difficult to spot, but please listen to your own guts. Listen to those small tips that I'm giving you so you can really have an amazing relationship, an amazing partner. It's better to be on your own than being in a shit relationship. We women, we don't really need that relationships that much, because we have friends, we have families, we have sisters, we have online people, we have co-workers. We are amazing when we are by ourselves. We are actually thriving. We can thrive when we by ourselves. But I do believe that we also are the best version of ourselves when we have that second person, that partner, that loved one, the one that we can be vulnerable and open and honest. But you can't be vulnerable and open and honest with anybody who is giving you those red flags. Because if you're saying to him, I don't want to rush, I want to wait until the moment is right, or I want to get the ring before we're even going to talk about intimacy or anything like that, and he's being disrespectful about it, when he is pushing you to do it, when he's trying in, you know, small and big situations, do what he thinks he needs to do rather than listening and watching you, that's very disrespectful. And there is no point even talking about it. You just like go, you just cut him off and you be you. Sometimes when you have those boundaries and he will ask you some questions, and that's okay. If he asks, you can say, you don't really need to explain yourself, just say like nice and polite and normal what you think about it. But if he is still trying to convince you, oh, but you know, you this. I was seeing a guy, and he was quite a good guy, and we had a few dates. Yet every single time when I saw him, he was keep pushing about the fact that we need to go somewhere on a trip together to get to know each other better. And I said, well, I don't feel like we need to go on trips, although I love traveling, and that's something I want to do with my husband, with my future partner. I just met you. This is our third or fourth time I'm seeing you. I have a great time, but I'm not ready to go anywhere. I am so sorry, my battery is dying, so I had to change my phone quickly. And when you say no, right, I know what I was gonna say. When you say no sometimes, okay, so he's not very happy about what you just said, he's gonna stop to be nice to you. He's gonna give you a silent treatment. He's gonna play that games, because to me, he's not just mad. Those are the games. Sometimes when you say something that he's not really feel comfortable with, he can't just disappear for a few days, and he can come back and say, you know, I'm so sorry, I understand now, I just needed some moment to think about it. Let him be. Don't text him, don't push it. Don't feel like you need to be the one who's gonna, don't feel like you've done something wrong that now you need to apologize, because they're your boundaries, girl. And your boundaries, it's who you are. It's what gives you respect, what gives you self-confidence, what gives you the warmth, what makes you you. Some women, maybe they are okay to go to the pub one night and just sleep with the guy, and that's okay for them, and that's the boundaries. So for me, that's no boundaries at all, but that's what they want to do, and that's how they feel good. What makes you you is that you say no. You say no and you feel good about it. Regardless whether he gives you silent treatment, whether he's angry, whether he doing that nasty things that you just feel something is not right, you leave him do that to himself. He thinks he has control over you. When you react, you show him that he has that control. And the last thing you want is for men to feel like he has control over you. If I give you one big piece of advice, is never, ever, ever stop paying attention. Even if you get the ring, even if you're married for a few years or many years, always pay attention to how he is and how he acts. Because to me, it's even a bigger threat when you're with somebody for so many years. You give a lot. Maybe you stopped working, maybe you stopped doing something else, maybe you give a lot to this relationship and a lot to him. And you know, anytime a man can cheat, anytime men can change, same as we women, you know, okay, it's not like only men are that bad and controlling and doing this. And I'm begging you, look for those flags, pay attention. Don't show too much, don't give too much, regardless of the timeline. So whether you are married or not, or whatever you like, you name it, regardless of wherever you are in that relationship, always make sure that you have your own self-confidence and your self-respect. And I said to my husband, if you cheat on me, that's it. If we are with me 30 years, 40 years, I'm gone. I'm gone in a heartbeat. If you have 10 kids and you cheat on me, I'm gone. This is who I am, and he knows this. So please spot the red flags before they gonna get so big that it's gonna ruin your life. Love you. Take care. Bye bye.